Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna keep the Zoom tab open for anyone that may have questions. I'm gonna check here and there, but I'm probably not going to pay attention to the chat that much because I want to focus on this very in-depth breakdown on how I managed to clear six-figure digits by trading US30 primarily and some Ethereum USDT perpetual. But I'm gonna break down US30 trades because primarily it was US30 that I was trading. It's pretty in-depth. It's not too straightforward because there was a lot of different techniques that was being used. And obviously, I will not go in depth into explaining how those techniques are being used, but I'll just let you guys know roughly what type of risk management I was using and what indicators I was using. Okay, so let's go ahead and open up US30. Okay, so we have US30. I will say this, a quick disclaimer. What works for me may not work for you. This works for me because this is my trading strategy, but my trading strategy may not work for you because we all have different psychology, right? So people who are absolute beast at maintaining your composure and your emotions, making cold calculated decisions, you can trade in this style. But I'm gonna be honest with you guys, most people will not succeed using this strategy. I'm gonna explain a little bit later on why that is the case. But yeah, let's go ahead and turn on a few of the indicators that I have used. I've definitely used a cipher. I'm gonna keep it off though because I didn't use it at every given time. I definitely used RSI. I was using momentum. I was using stochastic. Okay. Also, I want to clarify something. A lot of people think there's like a magical indicator that can help you profiting 90% of the trades. This is false. Learning how to use indicators will not give you high winning percentage or high profitable trading advantage. Learning how to use indicators will help you manage your risk and help you understand how the trend is. Okay. But when I primarily trade, US30 or like a volatile pair like Ethereum on a margin, I don't really rely on indicators. Okay, indicators are more so for an additional confirmation for a trend, if it reverse or if it's going to potentially reverse. But I still don't make trades based on some type of indicator confirmation. Okay, so there is this huge misconception. People think that you can just learn how to use certain indicators and you will be able to stay profitable. This is incorrect. I will say this though, there is an indicator that I used for US30 that definitely helped me profit and helped me increase the profitability, but not necessarily gave me an entry. It just gave me an idea on how much my take profit needed to be or my stop loss needed to be. Okay. But I don't keep this indicator on. I just turn it on just to see the numbers and then I turn it back off because having so many indicators can get distracting. Okay, I've seen people's chart where there was like 15 to 30 different indicators and I'm just thinking, what the hell are you doing? You having 15 indicators are not going to magically turn you into a multi-millionaire trader. Like, learn the basics, learn price action, learn the fundamentals, learn risk management. Okay. And again, before I go into this, I want to make a quick disclaimer. Margin trading and any type of leveraged, borrowed leverage trading is high risk, high reward system. You should only be trading with capital you lose and you can afford to lose. And you should definitely consult with a financial advisor before getting into trading. And no, I am not a financial advisor. I'm simply educating you guys on my full breakdown. Okay. All right. So now that we got disclaimers out of the way, I'm going to switch to 1 day period because this is the one that I use for overall analysis. Okay. So with our daily period, this is what I'm going to look at. Okay. I'm going to look at something here real quick and then quickly switch back to 30 minute to 5 minute. Okay, so I'm gonna just hover over these numbers, and as you can see, as I'm hovering over these periods, the numbers on the indicators are changing, right? So you can see that ATR, for example, it's going from 300, 400, 500, 300. So basically what ATR is it stands for average true range, and it measures the average amount of movement we've seen throughout each period. Okay, there's an actual equation for it. I used to know how to do it. I personally don't bother anymore because there's no need to actually learn the equation since the ATR indicator itself calculates it for you. But it's something like the open, high, low, close minus like the average movement or something like that, right? I probably got that wrong because it's been a while since I did that calculation, but you can Google it. Okay, so what are we looking at here? So the most recent ATR value was 294. Okay, the reason why I switched to 1 day period, the daily period, is because when you switch to daily period and you're looking at ATR, it gives you the average daily movements, right? So we have 294 as average daily movement. That means on average basis, we're going to see 294 movements within the US30. Okay. So why is this a valuable information? Because when I'm trading, I know roughly on average how much pips, how much movement I can anticipate, right? So, I can see if, for example, if it would go up 5% or 5% down, 10% up, 10% down, right? So all this I put into my equation and I write this into my trading journal when I'm trading US30, okay? And then another thing that I would look at is overall, where is stochastic headed? Where is the momentum currently headed? What is the RSI doing? Is it showing a bearish divergence or is it showing a bullish divergence? So why is this important? This is important because we have to know before we get into the US30 trades in the incremental movement, we still have to know where is the overall market headed right now. I mean, it's easy to see when you go on the daily period. We can see that it's been uptrending. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about is when you actually look at the indicators, is it showing like a slowdown in momentum? Is it showing potential drop, potential free fall, maybe potential crash in US30? Things like that you could predict based on your technical analysis. Of course, any type of fundamental effect that will have on this chart will throw all that technical out the window. Okay, so that's what I would look at from the indicator standpoint. Aside from that, I'm telling you straight up from now, these indicators are completely useless for incremental changes in the US30. When it moves like 50 pips, 100 pips, like it's not going to help you predict those movements, right? But it's still important for you to understand, okay, is the indicators telling me it's overall going to be an uptrend? Is it going to tell me that is there a potential reversal, potential crash in the market? This is very important. Okay. Another thing that I like to do when I'm trading US30, I like to mentally draw where all the support and resistance is. So this is obviously done in a lower time frame. I wouldn't do this on one day period, because we're not trading US30 on a daily time frame. Okay, so we can switch to like 5-minute or 30-minute time frame. Let's do 5-minute, because we're talking about like rapid scalping, right? Intraday trading. We'll close down some of these indicators since we no longer need them. And again, if you guys want a more in-depth explanation on how I utilize these indicators, you guys can plug into my Discord community if you already haven't. It's gonna be the link will be in the bio. Okay, so one thing that's crucial, especially if you're not a veteran trader and you haven't been trading for too long, you need support and resistance. Okay, and if you don't know what support and resistance, you should really go back to the basics. Like, I'm not even trying to sound rude, but you should know support and resistance if you're in this video. Okay, so I'm gonna draw the support and resistance. I'm gonna treat this like a training wheel for most of you who may not be a seasoned trader who's been doing this a long time. For someone like me, I don't need support and resistance because I can mentally draw where they are. Also, the indicator that I use, Cypher, will actually show all the support and resistance regardless, so I don't need to draw them. But let's say you don't have Cypher, and let's say you don't know how to have a mental note of where support and resistance is. It's good to level out these areas. Okay, so it's good to reference. Okay, US30 previously held at approximately 36,141. So if hypothetically we're in, I'm just gonna change the time here. So hypothetically, if we're in this time frame and you saw that wick action, right, we can safely assume that after that wick action and in a bullish engulfing, we can safely assume it would most likely continue upwards. Okay, so here's where it gets a little bit interesting. Okay, here's where it gets a little bit interesting. So this is the technique that I'm going to show you right now that most of you will fail at doing. I'm just being straight up with you guys. Most of you guys will not succeed at doing this because it takes an insane amount of patience. Okay, so let's say I got into a buy position here, right? So I entered into a buy position. Okay, and now I noticed there was a major pullback, right? So at this point, I would hold on to my buy position on my MetaTrader 4, and I will enter into a sell position. Okay, this is called hedging, when you're placing a both buy and a sell at the same time. However, with the sell position, I would open half the size of this buy. Okay, and really there's different variation of sell and buy that I would play. So there's like level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sell, level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buys, and I would write this all in my trading journal. Okay, you guys want, I know this is a lot of work, but if you guys really want to succeed, you kind of have to come up with a strategy like this. Okay, so I'm just gonna put here an example, one lot USD, US30 buy one. Okay, white is not gonna work. We're gonna do yellow. You know what? I guess we're doing black. Okay, so we have a one lot buy here. Okay, it entered into a bit of a drawdown. Now we're gonna do a 0.5 sell. By the way, guys, I'm trading extremely conservative. This is based on a 6-figure account. So if you don't have a 6-figure account, you should be doing 0.01, 0.05. If you're doing aggressive, 0.1 for like a 10K account. I assume most of you guys wouldn't have 6-figure accounts. Again, no offense. Okay. So now I've entered into a 0.5 sell, which is a bit of a profit right now. However, my dollar is my dollar buy is in a bit of a drawdown. Okay, let's see how this plays out. Okay, now it's starting to pull back, right? It's starting to pull back. And we notice that we're now trading at double bottom. Okay, double bottom. And we had previously observed strong support from this area. Okay, so basically, if I see that it holds here, I'm going to close my sell. Okay, and if it actually breaks, guess what? I'm gonna double up on my sell and do a one lot sell. And again, this is completely calculated in my head and on a trading journal. Okay, I'm not trading based on emotion. Like, I'm literally saying to myself, okay, if it goes into a certain number based on the average range, I'm gonna enter this much. Okay, and if it enters into a lower level, I'm gonna enter this much. And if it reaches a higher level on a buy, I'm gonna enter this much more, and I'm gonna close my level 1 sell, and I'm gonna open a level 2 buy. Okay, so this is complete calculation at this point. And why I'm keep reiterating the fact that it's calculation, because I want you to understand, a trading style like this, you can get margin call almost instantaneously. And why am I saying you can get margin call instantaneously? Because what a lot of people will end up doing straight up in a midst of this type of trading, they're gonna end up doing like a 3 lot or a 5 lot buy or a 5 lot sell. You know why? Because most human beings, their mindset, their mentality is not designed to be able to withstand such loss. Okay, so when you see your position, let's say your account is $10,000, right? Hypothetically speaking, and let's say you're now in a drawdown of $3,000, you're gonna start panicking. You're still and you're gonna be like worried of losing potentially 30% of your entire capital. So at that point, people are gonna start making irrational trading decisions, right? And this is why most people will not be able to succeed using this strategy unless you're able to completely forget about your emotions and just do cold calculated trading. Okay, what do you know? I profited from my sell and it reversed. Okay, so you guys remember how I told you guys I took profit of the sell? Okay, so the sell is already gone, right? And now I'm in 50% of the drawdown that I was in with the one lot buy. So let's see what happens. But before I show you guys what happens, personally, I don't remember where this candlestick headed, but I'm going to tell you this. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do based on what I'm seeing in the market right this second. Okay, if this breaks, if this for whatever reason ends up breaking 36,142, I'm gonna place another sell. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you guys know what I'm thinking in my head before I tell you and before I actually do it. So let's see what happens. What do you know? Now I'm almost break even at 1 lot buy, and now I'm in a profit, right? So at this point, I will observe this current area and see if I can get past or slowly creep up to 175 without wick exhaustion. If I see wick exhaustion, I'm gonna TP and take that profit. Okay, I'm seeing a bit of a wick exhaustion. Okay, this is not significant enough for me to say, okay, this is going to what do you call it, reverse or pull back. It's not. It's the momentum is still pretty good. Having said that, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna play it safe. I'm only aiming for 1% a day at this point. Okay, no, 1% a trade, right? And 1% a trade, it's still a lot, right? 1%, 2% a trade is still a lot. Why is this a lot? Because after you increase your capital by 1%, 2%, 5%, guess what? You can now open up bigger positions. And now, put it this way, after you've made 10 consecutive 1% increase on your account, right? that 1% after you've already created 10% increase is no longer the same 1% as you initially would have made, right? Because the percentage compounds, right? So because the percentage compounds, the initial, based on the initial principle, you would have made less on 1%, but with with higher equity, it means you can open up larger positions. Okay, so it's not difficult to keep doing 1%, 2%, 3%. But the idea here is to aim for the lowest. Okay, a lot of people here get greedy, and most people will try to hold on to the trade. Let's see what happens. Okay, take profit smashed at this point. Okay, if I see this bounce back down, I'm gonna place another sell. And if it goes above 36,181 and it creates a nice, like, based on the next candlestick, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna place okay, I still don't know because this is still neutral. Okay, I'm gonna place a sell. We'll see how it goes. Okay. And then we'll do like a 0.5 conservative sell. Okay, in fact, let me see what Cypher is doing. Okay. Oh, what do you know? Cypher telling me to do a sell too. What do you know? It's in profit. What do you know? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did cheat a little bit because I've had this indicator that kind of teach me like what happens to the market. I know it's crazy. I try not to use it too much because I feel like it's cheating, but you know, I'll be honest, I did use it for my 200k plus profit. Okay, so with this sell's already gone now because I already took profit, right? And then we just keep doing that same thing over and over. Hits that same level, place another sell. But this time I'm gonna withhold the sell because of that wick price action. It looks like it could potentially break. Okay, I'm gonna place another sell. Boom, profit. So I'm gonna keep this video very short and concise. That's pretty much a full breakdown on how I was able to profit over $200,000 in a few days trading US30 and Ethereum, primarily US30. If any of you guys have any more further questions on the technique that I use or the indicators I used or Cypher, any of those following, you guys can send me a message in my Discord community. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube video.